The City Inspector General's office is now investigating allegations of payroll cheating in the city clerk's office. The city clerk, James Lasky, confirmed today that the Inspector General has requested the attendance records of a dozen of his employees for the past year. Now, word of this investigation comes the day after CBS 2 disclosed how some of the clerk's staff have falsified timesheets and cheated taxpayers. Pam Zeckman is back tonight with more. Pam?
David and Linda, we found that the employees of the clerk's office have falsified their timesheets to get paid by the city when they shouldn't. Tonight, we look at some apparent conflicts of interest swirling around the city clerk's chief of staff. For him, the lines seem to be blurred between his public office and his private business. Raymond Drish is a longtime precinct worker and friend of city clerk James Lasky. Now he's Lasky's chief of staff, making $90,000 a year. Drish also owns the Heritage Manor Banquet Hall on the southwest side. Some of Drish's banquet hall employees have also worked for the city clerk, making them eligible for city benefits. It's not illegal as long as they do their work for the city. But what about Michael Kilkelly, a $25,000 a year data entry operator for the city clerk? These timesheets show he signed in for a full day's work on October 31st at City Hall. But here he is by mid-afternoon at a Southwest Side daycare center, picking up kids dressed for Halloween. By 4:10, they started trick-or-treating. Kilkelly was off the clock, but still in his costume for the day as a ghost payroller. I tried to ask him about that. I have some questions for you about your timesheets at the city clerk's office. His boss, Jim Lasky, confirmed our findings that Kilkelly's timesheets were falsified. Lasky suspended Kilkelly for 10 days and the supervisor who certified his timesheets for 5. On another day, September 13th, Kilkelly was on a paid administrative leave approved by Lasky because his chief of staff, Ray Drish, said Kilkelly was in the hospital. But we saw Kilkelly leave Drish's house at about 9 a.m. He walked to this bar where he spent the entire morning playing pool. Then he walked back to Drish's house. That afternoon, we saw Kilkelly again, walking a girl home from school, back to Drish's house. The clerk thought you were in the hospital. Were you in the hospital? Another Heritage Manor employee, Joseph Remiez, is an $18,000 a year data entry operator for the city clerk. On September 25th, Remiez's timesheets show he worked from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. But at 9:40 a.m., we saw him at Ray Drish's house. Then he drove back to the clerk's southwest side office at 10:15. The timesheets show Remiez took an hour lunch break at 12:30, but he's out and about again at 2 p.m., this time driving home for an hour. As a result of our inquiry, Lasky suspended Remiez for 3 days for his timesheet error. I tried to talk to Remiez, but was stopped by his supervisor. Is Mr. Remiez here?
Please shut the cameras off.
Even Ray Drish's partner at Heritage Manor, his brother John, works for the city clerk. A city ordinance prohibits supervisors, like Ray Drish, from hiring or supervising close relatives, like a brother. An ethics law passed to avoid
preferential treatment in assignments, preferential treatment in job title, preferential treatment in the issuance of overtime.
Apparently, to get around that law, John Drish is technically on the payroll of Alderman Ed Burke's City Council Finance Committee as a legislative aide. But he's assigned to work as an investigator for the city clerk for $48,000 a year. That's 45% more than the average investigator in the clerk's office gets. We found the Drish Brothers Banquet Hall also gets a city service they're not entitled to, free garbage pickup. That'll change, says the head of Streets and Sanitation.
It's not going to be tolerated. We do not pick up commercial garbage. It's only residential, and that's the bottom line.
Sanchez said he's asked the City Inspector General to investigate. The Inspector General declined to comment on any aspect of his investigation. Neither Ray or John Drish could be reached for comment for this report. And the city clerk, who declined to be interviewed on camera, said he's already suspended 7 employees as a result of our investigation and may take other disciplinary action. David and Linda?
Pam, thank you.
Thank you, Pam.